and welcome to another video. So I've mentioned on my channel before a couple times that I'm not really a big fan of cozy mysteries. They're just not my cup of tea. And I want to change that. Like growing up, Scooby-Doo was my jam. Those like whodunit mysteries, I loved it. Everything about it, I loved it. But cozy mysteries in a novel like made for adults, I can't get into it for whatever reason. I had this theory that I was listening to them on audio, and so the narrators were kind of ruining it for me because they're very whimsical, and I could not listen to it. So in my TBR video, I mentioned that there were 2 cozy mysteries I had in my TBR for December that I wanted to read and try to fully get into this genre and really try to like it. So I've recently read You'll Be Dead, and I have a whole reading vlog for that, so go check that one out first. And the second one that I had on my TBR was Mail Order Murder. So while I had conflicting feelings about You'll Be Dead, this one is kind of my my like last chance, like the last chance that I gave myself to really like the genre. Well, it sounds kind of harsh. I've actually read like 10 cozy mysteries this year, so I'm not just saying this on a whim. Like I've really tried to like these books, and this is my last chance. So if this one isn't it, then I'm forever a cozy mystery hater. I don't know what this book is about. I know that it is set in Christmas time, and I know that a man shows up dead, and it's assumed by the police in the beginning to be a suicide, but the main character, Sleuth, doesn't think so. They think that there was some kind of foul play involved. Beyond that, I do not know what's in it. I do know that it's a pretty short book. It's 198 pages. The font is like kind of big, so I really don't think that this would take too long to read. But yeah, so I will update you once I've started the book. I promise sometime soon I'm gonna fix this mess so that it looks a lot cuter. It's just, you know what, today is not the day, this week is not the week. So I was reading Mail Order Murder, A Christmas Mystery. I made it to page 49, which, I don't know, is like a quarter of the way through the book, and I decided to DNF it. I find myself dragging my feet to pick it back up. I read like 10 pages a day, like that's it. And I just don't want to read it, and I'm not having a good time, and I feel myself kind of sliding into a reading slump. And there's no reason to do that to myself. Like there really isn't. If I'm not enjoying the book, put it down. I got a list of books that I want to read way more than I want to read this. So like, why am I wasting my time? So I'll just give you a couple specifics on why I couldn't read this book anymore. So this was originally written in 1991. I don't know if there's any other publication dates besides that. And it reads like it was written in 1991. Actually, it reads like it was written in the 1950s. It's very misogynistic and homophobic, and it just spreads a whole lot of negativity that I don't really want to be a part of. Not to mention the writing is very descriptive to the point of it's like listing details, and I'm just like, get on with it, please. I'm only going to give one example, and then we're moving on from this ginormous mess of a book. So this is when they're introducing one of the detectives, and this is what he does when he goes into the main character's house. He took off his coat and folded it carefully, then laid it across the back of one of the chairs. He placed his briefcase on the table just so, opened it, and took out a manila folder. Then he closed it and placed it on the floor next to the chair with his coat. Finally, he sat down, drawing his chair up to the table and sitting stiffly with his hands on the folder. Enough is enough, man, you know? This is all around not a good time. I'm DNFing this. So to kind of put like a positive spin on this video and to kind of get myself out of a reading slump I feel myself falling into, I'm gonna be rereading my favorite book ever, which is Wake by Lisa McMann. I've read this, I think 3 times, maybe 4. I don't know. The point is I've read this multiple times, and I'm going to be reading it again today. Well, I'm going to start reading it again today. The first time I picked this up, I was in high school. I was like a sophomore in high school, so I was 14, 15, something like that. So, you know, like 10 years ago. And then I've read it the most recent time. I think I got this copy for Christmas 2 years ago, so I read it again then. I don't know. Oh, there's like a quote on the cover by Cassandra Clare. I never knew that. So she says, "A lyrical, shuttersome novel whose images linger with you." Okay. So instead of doing it like a reading vlog kind of thing, since I've read this before, I'm just going to enjoy this, reading it on my own, off camera, but because I've read it multiple times, I'll tell you what it's about. And obviously I've given this book 5 stars, obviously. So this book is actually part of a trilogy with the other 2 called Gone and Fade, but these 2 are garbage. So if you take my recommendation and read this book, just pretend it's a standalone because it's not worth it to read the other 2, I promise you. So this book is about this girl, Jamie, who is in high school, and she has this kind of like power. It's not exactly like magic. It's also not really paranormal. It's just kind of like a it is what it is kind of situation is how it's explained. So whenever she's around people that are sleeping, she loses consciousness kind of, and she's drawn into their dreams, and she experiences their dreams with them while being unable to remove herself from the dream and to kind of continue being awake and conscious. Like she doesn't have a choice with that. Also, while this happens, she's not sleeping, so she's exhausted when she comes back to herself. And the people whose dreams she's in don't know that she can do this. Like they don't remember her being in their dreams when she wakes up. So this gets her into like tons of problems, especially like being at school, like with high schoolers that just fall asleep in class all the time. She's like drawn into their dreams and she can't help it. She can't get out of it. But then she's drawn into this horrific nightmare, and it really bothers her, and so she tries to find out who the nightmare belongs to so she can help this person kind of get over what's happening in their life and to kind of get through this nightmare so that he doesn't have to have this nightmare anymore, because she gets sucked into this nightmare many times. But yeah, I love this book. I love it so much, so I'm gonna be reading it again, and I'm done with cozy mysteries for the rest of the year at least, but I'm willing to try them again. So if you've read a cozy mystery that was like the best cozy mystery you've ever read, and it's a book that you would recommend to multiple people, let me know in the comments what it is, and I will try again. I just think that I've been hitting bad luck books and just bad ones. So I need a good one to cleanse the palate and to try and like cozy mysteries. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope that it wasn't like as much of a mess as I think it is. But thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.